what's on YouTube right now? Awesome. Let's take a look. Just want to make sure. You good? Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Very exciting. Okay. Mhm. Hello, hello. Thank you all for joining me today on this wonderful Friday. Happy New Year to you all. This is Grigory Pekarsky. I am the managing broker of Vesta Preferred and also the lead of the Vesta team. And you are joining me today. Maybe you're just starting out in real estate. Maybe you're thinking about joining real estate. Maybe you've been in it for a little while. Maybe you're just one of my buddies and you want to mess around in the comments and make fun of me. Whichever way it is, I'm just happy that you are here. And today, what we are talking about, it's the Vesta Preferred Vanguard Manifesto. We're going to be talking about a few key things. We're going to be talking about how to be successful in real estate from my perspective and why it might be a good idea to hear what I have to say, but also where and how I see the industry changing. And there are some incredibly important things that people need to understand now. And the beauty of it, it is January 9th. It's in the beginning of the year. You have the whole year ahead of you. And everything about real estate is about understanding what is coming so you can prepare. Real estate is not quick success. It takes a while. We're going to go through all of that. So the earlier you can have the right mindset and the right plan, the better chance you're going to win. And I'm going to be here today to tell you exactly how you're going to do that in 2026. Let's go. Let's begin real quick. Quick resume. I don't want to get too long in this. So as I said, Grigory Pekarsky. I head the Vesta team. We are a boutique real estate company based out of Chicago. Started by me and my business partner in 2009. A fantastic time to get into real estate. The world was crumbling and the financial crisis was all around. And as a 23-year-old that just graduated Michigan State, what did I do? I ran straight into the fire because I just wanted to go live in a city that I enjoy going to celebrate New Year's. And I started in a career that just dropped in my lap, real estate, just to see what it was all about. Maybe I would like it, maybe I didn't. I always had an entrepreneurial mindset. I always kind of found my way around the opportunities, and it just kind of fell into my lap. So now, fast forward, I have sold over $1 billion in real estate. Last year in particular was the biggest, best year for my team. We sold $350 million in real estate, almost 700 homes sold. and that is with just a team of 40 agents. We're also the number one team in Illinois for buyer representation, and we have been featured in numerous articles. We're nationally recognized for our online lead curation, our coaching. So I have a lot to give, and I'm a very giving person. So this is all about how you can mimic what I've learned. And if I was you and I was starting in real estate today, here's some things I wish I knew. Real quick, let's talk about little G money over here, all right? I am an immigrant. I was born in Moscow, Russia, 1985, USSR. And at the fall of the communist era in 89-90, I immigrated to the States. My parents, we went to Detroit metro area. My dad is an engineer, more so automotive, so it is a big family immigration hub at the time. And throughout the process, we just landed in Detroit. We landed with 8 suitcases in hand and $500 to our name. That is me on the night that we arrived in America with literally our entire lives' possessions that you see there. What I'm about to tell you and what I'm going to come and share with you, this isn't from a guy that has been born with a silver spoon in his mouth. I was given nothing. I've been aggressively and proudly boutique and independent since day one. Everything that I have created has been earned and learned through just sheer wit and grit. And I'm a stubborn guy, so it took me to learn some lessons way longer than it should have, but I've learned a lot along the way. If you're just starting in real estate, listen to me right now. You can do this. You can do exactly what I've been able to do. I started with literally nothing. The first 6 months of this career was the worst 6 months of any sort of professional experience I ever had. I failed. I flopped on my face. I thought I was the worst at this game. But I stuck to my principles. I stuck to believing in myself. I figured it out. And then I started to climb from there. So when I'm telling you these things, please understand it starts from a baseline of possibly even less than what you have. You are your greatest enemy or your greatest ally. You can decide. All right, let's go. If you just went to real estate school or you've been to real estate school, here's a reality check. They don't teach you anything that is actually valuable when it comes to how to make money in this business. One of the things that I'm always blown away by when I look back at it is in school, they don't teach you how to do taxes, right? I remember the beginning of my career, Vesta Preferred, I got into a lot of, I won't say trouble or problems, but because of money management and not understanding how taxes work, it was really financially difficult. And why I say that as an example, real world experience in real estate is earned and learned by doing. You have to get the license, of course. You have to learn about hectares and farms. You will probably never use any of that stuff. Now, of course, fair housing, all of that's super important. You want to abide by the law, yes. But once it kind of starts that next level of, okay, so what do? You have to lean in to things that are proven and that you know work. But unfortunately, real estate is just a big landscape of a lot of potential things, a lot of successful people. And there's breadcrumbs along the way that if you figure out how to collect those and be able to mimic those, that is how you're going to be able to start really moving forward with your career. I'm going to talk about this a lot. No one's going to give you anything. Real estate, people get into it. A lot of people fall into it. They think, hey, I don't have to have anybody calling me. I don't have to have a schedule. That's great and fantastic. I'm telling you that I work between, on a good week, 60 hours. On a bad week, it's a bad week. On a busy week, 80 hours plus a week. All right? When you work for yourself and no one is going to be knocking on that door and telling you, where are you? It is up to you to succeed or fail. Now, follow me here because next I'm going to talk to you about the main principle, the core recipe of success in real estate. Here's the 3 pillars of success: leads, systems, and accountability. As we continue forward and as you take anything from this conversation, remember those three things. If you build a daily routine highly focused on the three pillars of success, I am guaranteeing your success. I'll talk about how we do this at Vesta because every single agent here is a minimum $10 million producer. How I've been able to create the highest return per agent in regards to how much they actually are able to sell on a per head basis comparatively to any other team. We're the most productive, we're the most successful, and it's because we focus on these three principles. Let's begin with leads. In sales, nothing else matters unless you have leads. What are you going to be selling if you don't have leads? The number one thing every single day you should be working at and focusing on is, where is my next lead? Here's a little story for you guys. Whenever I was at a closing table, back when we used to go to closings as realtors, COVID changed that. I will always remember the hardest person working at that table. And when you're at a closing table, you're supposed to kick back, relax, enjoy with your clients. And I did that. I was there. I pumped them up. I was really proud of them. And it was a great time. But in that room, that was the last moment and last time I was going to make any money off of that transaction. You're only as good as your next deal. Your job every single day is to look for that next prospect, the next deal, and the next opportunity. I am viciously and unbelievably hungry for leads. I didn't grow to the size that I'm at because there was more leads to be had in the industry. I grew by acquiring other people's market share. There's only a limited amount of people looking for real estate at any point in time. I've just built the right systems. I've built the right accountability metrics, and I've built the right attitude and mindset to every single day acquire more leads than the next person next to me. Get with the program. Leads above everything. Number 2, systems. The most dangerous statement as a realtor you can say at the end of the day is, I don't know what I did today. A lot of realtors love to be busy. I'm sure you know. I mean, if you've been in business, you've been around people, everyone loves. I mean, you probably have had days, right? Where you're running around, man, like just doing things. I'm busy. Everyone loves to just be busy, 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 busy. But at the end of the day, if you cannot quantify what that busy work was, then it's just noise. Systems like CRMs, a lot of different automations, things that you can track your progress every single day. It brings rhythm to this business, and it also allows you to understand if you're going towards the pathway of the success that you're trying to get to. What you're going to understand, what you have to understand, real estate is a statistics modeling and a math equation. Once you understand it, all of this makes sense. All of it. Here's an example. If you want to sell $10 million in real estate this year, guaranteed, it's 40 unique reach outs a day. That's 40 unique people that you're calling every single day, Monday through Friday. Now, the reason for that is I've already known these statistics behind how many people of those will pick up, how many of those people will talk to you, how many of those people will then give you an opportunity for representation, how many of those people representing are going to actually take out and see real places, and then how many of those can get qualified and go put bids out and get under contract. If you continuously call 40 people, unique contacts a day, I'm not saying calling the same exact 40 people a day, unique contacts a day, I'm guaranteeing you're going to sell $10 million in real estate. Okay? You can close this shop and get going. And call me in a year and say, wow, I can't believe that was true. How many of you have 40 contacts to call today? It's not easy. I get that. But you have to understand what it is that you're trying to sell, quantify it backwards, and understand what the activities are behind those metrics that you can then quantify in a systematic format to be able to follow your progress every day. We call them money-making activities, MMAs. MMAs above everything. Systems give you the leads. Next, this is where everyone fails, is accountability. Everybody knows how to get in shape, right? Everyone understands you have to go to the gym, you have to eat right. And right now, January 9th, if you belong to a gym, it's probably pretty busy, right? What happens in April when you go back to the gym? You don't see the same people. You see the people that were there in September. You see the people that were there in October. You probably saw them right before Christmas or New Year's or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. Whatever it is you celebrate, whenever you were there during the holidays, you probably had a good chance to see the people that were consistent. The problem is, everybody understands the plan. Everyone knows that you have to work out, or if I want to play the guitar really well, you have to be able to practice every single day your notes and your chords. I don't play guitar. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be offensive if that completely makes no sense to people that play guitar, but you should get it, right? That consistency is what gives you the longevity. If you break down success, the formula of success is very simple. It's correctly labeled activities, MMAs, executed consistently, accountability, over a long period of time. Now, accountability is that, and the systems is the executed correctly every single day. So correctly labeled activities, MMAs, executed consistently over a long period of time. That is success. Accountability is where everyone fails. And at Vesta, for example, we know this. So every single agent gets coaching, right? And it's not just coaching that says, hey, how you feeling today? It's coaching that is directly based off of how our agents are doing, using the CRM and the tools that we have, understanding what their goals are, and if they need to be answering 10 leads, which we provide for them, that they need to call specifically and have a set amount of appointments and activities, we say, listen, you were supposed to have 7 appointments last week. You only had 3. Let's figure out why. And because everything of our process is tracked, we can understand, is it because of the initial pre-qualification? Is it because you're not asking the right closing questions? It's all in the process. Break it down step by step, put it into a system. And if you are just starting in real estate, here's my biggest miss when I started in this game. I didn't have a CRM. I didn't understand that real estate is a contact sport, and it is a direct relation to how many people are in your database. How many people are you contacting on a regular basis? And if you can start acquiring those names and numbers and anybody you meet at the grocery store, start having conversations, right? At the party that you meet somebody there, at the bar. I mean, honestly, in the beginning of my career, I made a lot of contacts going out for bottle service. I was 23 years old. What do you want from me? It was Chicago. I love this place, all right? I fell in love with the city because I came here for New Year's Eve parties, right? So I actually built a really successful initial rental business because I was made friends with everyone at the clubs, and I was having a good time. And I literally combined my fun with business, and it worked. Whatever it is, you have to find that fun and find the business, and you have to be outward, and you have to be a person that is just charming and constantly magnetic and getting people to want to talk to you. But the second you get that, you have to put it into a system. And you have to put it into the CRM. Leads, systems, accountability. All right? Sounds good. Let's talk about the components of success. All right? I only hire based off of 2 factors and a third kind of sub-factor. And it's all based off of what I know is the composite of a successful real estate agent. This is a pie chart. I'm sure you've seen it. That it takes up how a successful person's essential, not just a normal person's kind of, let's call it, hard drive is. What gets people to get going. 70% of that formula is attitude. Attitude is what wakes you up in the morning. It's what gets you going. It's what tells you and pushes you that you need to do better today, that you need to get going. It's when somebody tells you to F off, or you're terrible, or somebody in your life says, you ain't nothing. That's the attitude piece that says, no. I'm just going to keep calling and keep getting after it. Because if you understand that you need to call 10 people to get a single response, and you're on call number 9 and you feel crappy and somebody just spit in your eye and says you're terrible, you don't make that 10th phone call, well, then guess what's going to happen? You're not going to ever get to the places you want to get to. Attitude drives everything. The second piece, the biggest piece, 20% is behavior. Those are the actions. Those are the MMAs. Those are the things that you do consistently, right? That is the hard work element of it. So when I look for people that I look to hire at my company, I look for two of the main basic formula things that I know will make somebody fantastic or have a high chance of being successful in my company. And that is, do you have an unbreakable attitude? Just this magnificent will that you just want to be the best, the greatest, and nothing will stop you. If I put up a wall in front of you, are you going to say there's a wall in front of me, or are you going to back up and just run through that? That's the first thing I hire on. Second is work ethic. Very few people have it. I'm just saying that right now. 90% of people don't got it. I'm telling you, 90% of people don't got it. And the behavior element is, are you just going to get your stuff done? Or are you going to tell yourself a reason why you shouldn't? Are you not going to make the phone calls? Are you not going to be consistent? Because if you don't do the consistency thing behind it, you are never going to build the momentum to get to the next level. So you have to make sure that you are always working on your attitude and that you have those systems for the behavior, because 90% of the formula is there, okay? Let me talk to you about the last piece, technique. 10% is technique. How is your scripting? What are the closing questions? 10% of the formula is teachable. That's it. 10%. Watching YouTube videos and figuring out things. That's where everyone lives, right? What's the next best thing? What's going to be my secret sauce? If I just learn this little trick, I will be successful. Those are my lottery card holders. That's the people that go and pay for the Mega Millions. Let me ask you a question. Do you play Mega Millions? Do you do it for fun? Or do you think you're going to win? If you think you're going to win, get out of real estate. I'm telling you that right now. Stop playing the lottery. If you want to succeed, stick to the program. You know what it's going to take. It is the hard work. It is the phone calls. It is the 40 phone calls every single day, relentlessly, no matter what. Everyone's got skeletons in their closet. Get it done. Once you get the plan going, get it done. And the last piece, the technique piece, that right there, my friends, is called humility. Are you coachable? Or do you have a chip on your shoulder? Do you think you know it all? The only people that can succeed in my company are those people that only see the biggest competitor in the room as the person staring back at them in the mirror. And they want to continuously compete with that person because they want to be the best broker they can possibly be. They want to be the best broker in the room that they can possibly be, not anyone else, because they're judging themselves by how's my attitude and did I get my stuff done today? That is it. If I can find those three factors, I can guarantee someone's success. Don't believe me? Look at my track record. Now, here's a little tip. And later on, I'm very easy to reach. You can find me on Instagram. You can email me. Guys, I am Mr. Come and talk to me, right? I'm Mr. Approachable. Like, please, yes, I sell a ton of real estate, but anybody will tell you that I'm nice and I am intense, but I'm nice. I'm very passionate about what I do, but I'm very passionate to help people, the good people, the people that actually want to get after it. So reach out to me. That's what I'm saying. I can help give you this. This is a success journal. This is what launched my career. This is the track of your day. This is the recipe for success. So what I was saying is that once you understand what a successful formula for you looks like, you put it in here. And here's how it's broken down. In the very, very beginning is morning MVPs. It's got nothing to do with real estate. It's just going to be working on your attitude. Today, what did I do? I woke up at 4:30 in the morning. I did my Peloton. I do my stretching. I journal. I get ready for the day. I fill myself with gratitude. And I get myself, and I spend time with my family. I got 2 little girls. I got an incredible wife. Got a great breakfast. Because, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, If you don't build on your why, if you don't build on your attitude, you cannot complete anything else for the rest of the day. If you are able to do this by 9 a.m., you've already won the day. Think about that. You have to invest in your attitude. So that's why morning MVPs are on there. Now, the rest of the success journal is created with proactives, in the moments, sub results, and results. So the proactive things are those calls, those reach outs, right? Understanding how many phone calls, how many types of unique reach outs you're going to track for yourself to be able to then get your next level of result. That might be somebody that you get a qualification, and then a sub result might be a pre-approval, and then you can then monitor how many take people out on appointments, understanding how many appointments you need in the particular subset, into particular niche that you're operating in to get to become the successful broker that you want to be, whatever that success looks like. This is what changed my life. It brought rhythm to the chaos. Real estate's a very chaotic business, right? There's all of these different factors. There's thousands of us, tens of thousands, millions in the country, almost 2 million, I think. And in Chicago, there's almost 17,000. And everybody's going to tell you how they can be successful, how they can't be. Well, they won't tell you how they can't be, right? Because all of us realtors are well in our egos, and we're never going to say we're failing. But everyone has a pathway of success, right? And everyone has their little trick and their little thing and the little that. A story for you guys is what drives me is fear. And there's a few things that I'm scared of. I operate every day like I can lose everything tomorrow. Okay? That's the gratitude piece. Nothing is promised, nothing is given. You have to earn it. And when I started in this career, I would come across realtors that, no offense, they have been in the business for 40, 50 years. They're disheveled. They look terrible. I mean, not like physically, there's just an aura. It's just like beaten down. And I'd look at their career and I just would see, man, they've been doing the same business for the last 15, 20 years, $4 million, $3 million, which it's a respectable business, yes. But to me, a business that doesn't grow is something that I call a zombie. And it's somebody that just goes through the repetitions. They're never looking to get inspired. They're not looking to get to the next level. It is, to me, how you can die in real estate and continue to do this business. It terrified me. I was like, I can never be like that. I cannot be like that. Don't be a zombie broker. Compound your activities. Monitor them. Understand what you're doing every single day. Because movement in real estate is life, and staying still is death. You have to take it from me. Take it from a guy that has figured out how to keep moving every single day. I've had terrible experiences over the last 15, 16 years. I've had incredible ups and downs. But one thing was for sure, I asked myself every single day, how can I just take one step forward today? And those compounding elements, that mindset alone, attitude, will drive you to success. Okay. I'm putting this in here because, again, to kind of reiterate, stay focused on you. What happens is it takes a minute to get that momentum going. And these calls, you could be calling honestly for weeks, and like you're not getting the results, right? Because you have to see it like a drop in the bucket. Every single call is a drop in the bucket, but the bucket is big, okay? The bucket is big. And every single day, you got to put that drop in there. You don't know when it's going to overflow, but eventually something's going to happen and you're going to overflow. And then you're like, whoa, like I'm just busy and I got things going on. And I'm guaranteeing that's going to happen if you keep with the program. It's going to happen. But what happens is that when the bucket's halfway full, 10% full, it's not working. I'm going to go do this else. And then you start from the beginning again. That is the worst thing that you can do. You have to give this stuff time. You have to give it time to compound. You have to be able to make sure that you stick to the program, give things. And sometimes things don't work. I get that, right? But you got to be like, I'm going to do this for 3 months because I understand why I'm doing this for 3 months, right? It's like when you invest in the PPC campaign right? It's going to take a minute for the leads to come in. But if you put all of this money in the first week and then you pull out, it's like such a waste of money. Don't waste your time. Now I have something to tell you, that there is a hole in the bottom of that bucket. And it's not as big as the drop that you're putting in, but it certainly is letting things out. So I say that because when you take a day off in real estate, it's 3 days to get back on. That's what I noticed. So when realtors, like, they have a bad week, right? And they're like, I'm just not going to make my phone calls or whatever. So they take a week off. It sets them back by a month. I've experienced this. I know this. It's real. So that's why you have to do everything you can to just win every single day. Now you're like, but I got to take vacations and I got to do this. I get that. Mental health is really important, okay? I'm a big mental health component. I invest in my own mental health, and it's really, really important for you guys to also invest in that as well. But you have to understand what those activities are, so that this is what I do before I leave on a vacation. How many MMAs am I missing? And then I just tack them on to before I leave. Whatever that is, you still have the math's the math, right? It's not like you can erase things and it's going to continue going. The math is the math. So you know that if you're going to take a day off, plan for it. Again, why systems are so invaluable, so incredible. So you have to remember that consistency, pushing forward, put that drop in the bucket every single day. I say this because I love this photo. This is the from the Olympics. What year was this in the Olympics? Do you guys remember? Yeah, 2008. Phelps just racked it up, right? It was just like he won all the gold. And this guy was like his main competitor. And I remember before this race happened, this guy was like really trying to mess with Phelps, and he was like messing around with him and like really trying to get into his head. And Phelps was just sitting there like this. Now he was getting angry, but that's just him. That's just Phelps, man. And in the race that he won here, this is the picture that says it all. Puts everything in perspective for you guys. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay to your program. Look at the numbers. Keep it factual. Keep that reasoning and keep that reality in front of you, so that you don't let the chaos of this business seep in, because it's very, very easy to. All right. Another thing I'd like to share with you guys, a big lesson learned for myself. This is an attitude-based thing. About 6-7 years into my career, I was doing really, really well. And I probably was like the year before, I sold $40 million in real estate. But I was really like, it was at a place where I was getting more successful, but I was certainly not getting the pleasure that I was experiencing in the beginning. And I want to be very clear. It's really important to make money. You have bills to pay. And in the beginning, it is sink or swim, right? What's the stat? 50% of brokers fail in the first 6 months, and then another 50% of brokers fail in the first year. I totally understand the need for money, and it's really nice. Money's great. I mean, like, we're not charity workers here, right? We need to go. We do this because we do want to make a living. But eventually, I will tell you, there's a point in time where you do make really nice money if you continue this whole stuff. And once money becomes more and more and more, very, very few people find ultimate success, ultimate happiness from the money that you make. And there was a story that I like to share. At that time in my career, I was about 40 million, and I was experiencing that kind of that exhaustion. Yeah, and I was buddies with this incredible realtor, and they just had an absolute incredible year, like over 100 million, and I was at like 30, 40 million. And he's like 3 to 4x my 2 to 3, 4x my production. And I was like, man, like, you must be like, what a year. You should be so proud of yourself, man. If I could do that, I'd be like, that's so incredible. Like, how'd you do it? Whatever. He sounded more disgruntled than me, and he just said, man, but this guy did 150. That was a wake-up call for me, because what I thought I was chasing, because at the time I was like, if I just get there, if I get 100 million, I'm going to be really happy. And then that's it. That was the biggest wake-up call for me. And so I realized I had to separate my why away from the successes that I was putting towards, right? So I couldn't put like, well, why am I doing this? I want to sell $100 million. No, absolutely not. I leaned into what really made me happy. And when I did that, I started to separate, understand your why usually has nothing to do with real estate, right? It's got absolutely, maybe you want to go travel around the world for half the year. or for me, it's spending time with my family, right? The more time I can spend with them, the happier I am, the more full my attitude and all my whole life makes sense. So I separated the why from the success. Now, the relationship is this. You do need success. You need to drive. You need to be hard. You need to be working really, really hard to be able to get you more of your why. And when you can correctly label these things and correlate them together, a beautiful things happen. Beautiful thing happens. You sell $350 million in real estate in a year. Let's go. All right, come on. Now, let's talk about the biggest gorilla in the room that I am finding everybody is really, really scared to talk about. AI. I'm going to tell you this right now. This is the most ever-present moment for you guys to hear it, and I'm really happy you guys are in the room to hear this. AI is going to change everything. Okay, everyone says that's buzzwords, whatever. I have been deep in the research and deep in the applications and deep in the thought of this. AI is going to literally change everything. And either you adopt it or you will be left behind. And every single day is just like the MMAs. It becomes more and more difficult and challenging to figure out what's going on. It's very early on in the adoption stage of this thing, right? People don't know about it. There's not really a ton of applications and business use cases, right? I will tell you that there's a lot of people that are trying to make money off of it. I would say that what I found is 90% of the noise is BS. The 10%, once you find it and you understand it, it is unreal. So here's what I would recommend for you all. Start reading, right? There's a book actually I'm reading right now. It's called Co-Intelligence. Let me get you guys the name of it's Pollock. Co-Intelligence by I'm just gonna Ethan Malik. He is in Wharton. He's this unbelievable professor. He really explains how AI combined with human intelligence and use is going to really work. Because here's what I'll tell you is that AI is not going to take over, right? I mean, like unless Boston Robotics figures out how to create an AI real estate agent, which they might, right? I mean, that might happen, or people completely adopt to it. What AI is, it's an empowering tool for a human being. So you have to become a cyborg almost. You have to understand what are the things that can empower my workflow every single day. And I'll tell you, the entire MMA process and system and monitoring, all that stuff is possible to be used with AI. And then finding more leads is possible to be used with AI, but you have to be able to understand all of this stuff. And it's only going to come through consistent learning and educating yourself. If you're not on Substack, go on Substack. There's a lot of really good articles on there, and look for the people that are actually doing stuff in AI and learning about it. But I will tell you this, if you are in a real estate agency that isn't talking about it, get out now, because they will be smoke. They will be smoke by guys like me. I'm going to take it all. I'm taking everything with AI. I promise you this. I'm claiming it right now. Talk to me, call me in a year, and you'll be like, Greg, I was on that podcast with you. Unbelievable. I absolutely agree with you. Thank you, because it changed my life. It's changing my life every single day. Guys, AI, it's time to stop being scared of it. It's going to take a lot of Upwork to be able to catch up to it. I understand that. It's really frustrating, but do the work, because AI is going to change everything. Okay. The last thing, like I was starting to talk about, environment is everything. This is my beautiful team. We were on the cover of Real Producers last year. And a few things I will tell you about your environment. It's everything. You have to find your net positive environment. That means that when you go into the office, you feel more enlightened on the way out. You can't be in a negative, so you have to be constantly motivated by people around you. Look for mentors, not coaches. This is from the first real estate company that I actually got fired from. Think about that. That's a little fact for you. And I got fired from because the guy that I was working for was not a mentor. This is Johnny. It's not mentors, not bosses. Sorry. So look for mentors, not bosses. That's a mistake on this. He was a boss. He didn't know the subject matter. He never really sold what I was selling. And what you're looking for, you constantly have to look for mentors. And those are the people that are going to hold your hand and they're going to show you how to do it. what ended up happening as I got too successful in my ways of doing things, he got really, really threatened by it. He created a new contract for all this stuff, and like not getting too far into it, but he got scared, and he tried to get me to sign a new non-compete clause. I didn't sign it. I got fired. Right. So at the end of the day, that process and that time taught me that you have to constantly look for mentors. If you're working in a big brokerage, who do you talk to every single day? Because a lot of the managers there are failed realtors. Just be really careful who's giving you advice. All right. Another thing, when you're looking at brokerages, a lot of realtors, they approach it with like the brokerage is interviewing them. You have to approach it like you're interviewing brokerage. You are the value. You are the person that's going to do all the work. And a lot of brokers got a lot of smoke and mirrors, but they got a lot of nothing on the inside. So you got to ask things like, what are the systems? What are you going to support me with? What is the education? Who's going to mentor me? How am I going to be able to ask questions? Because a lot of the brokers that come here, they've been on islands for a long time, and they're just the most successful, the most productive person, and they just keep asking and begging for help and questions and things like that, and they can't find it. Make sure that you are in a net positive, solid environment for your personal growth on what you want to do. Okay, that's it. Here's a quick pitch. If you're interested, you want to talk to me, you want to learn more, we have an unbelievable team here at Vesta Preferred. I'd love to have a conversation with you. There is a big form fill. I do have to have you go through quite an extensive process online. We do have a lot of applications to come through. I need to see what you're all about. Like you said, this whole presentation is very specific around attitude and behavior and things like that. And I need to make sure you know what's about, you know what's up, and you're ready for the work. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Regardless, connect with me on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Let's have a chat and go win 2026. G Money, Grigory Pekarsky out. Thank you for joining.